Welcome to Q&A Selling Online, with answers to questions about creating an online empire, promoting products, or building a brand. Your host, private label and e-commerce entrepreneur, Quinn Amorm.
Welcome back to the show, my friends. Today I have with me right here Ganesh Krishnan. He is the founder of AiHello. So AiHello is it's artificial intelligence, just like the name says. AI, and also machine learning algorithms to help automate Amazon's PPC. Ganesh, is that correct? How's it going?
That's right. That's absolutely right. So we use a lot of forecasting method to arrive at the right bid for the right keyword for the right campaign.
Awesome. So before we get into AiHello, tell me, how did you get started into all of this e-commerce, PPC, and all this business?
Gotcha. So a long time ago, I used to lead the IBM retail business. A long time ago when they were in the retail, they sold it off to Lenovo, maybe somewhere around the mid 2000. So I was in charge of the forecasting. How much PC to sell, how much parts to buy. So it all involved, kind of an algorithm at that point of time. There was no real AI at this point, no real commercialized AI. So we had our own algorithms that would predict, how much to buy, how much to sell, because each product that you buy becomes a liability. Based on that, I moved more into forecasting, and then I did it for eBay. We did it similar things for eBay, where we would forecast, what items people would buy based on the logs. And then when I started having my own e-commerce stores, I established my own e-commerce store. I realized that, forecasting sales is not a big problem for the sellers, because most sellers don't care. What they want to do is they want to do marketing. And we said, okay, we could use the same, algorithms that are there for forecasting sales to forecast bids. And then we started building this Autopilot, where we forecast the bid for any keyword for a campaign, and then we update the bid automatically for that.
Nice. Are you still a seller today?
I do I do sales just to be, boots on the ground, just to check, how things are going. We sell approximately around $500,000 a year. That is not really big. But we're not going all in on sales. We just keep it, to check, our program is performing correctly, to make sure that the problems that we are facing is something that we can solve proactively before we hear that from our sellers.
Yeah, I hear you on that. So you mentioned something there about back then when you were doing that with eBay or IBM, right? There was no actual AI yet. So is AiHello is actually AI, correct?
Yes, we do a lot of forecasting in the backend. Yeah.
No, I mean the tool is AI. It is actually AI.
Yes.
Because, the reason why I ask you this is because a couple years ago, maybe 1 year, I don't know, time has gone by slowly since COVID, or fast. I don't even know. But anyway, I dealt with a company that was building apparently an AI tool. I found out later, but they sold it as if it was AI, and you had to lock in for $7,500. And all I got was a bunch of if-then statements, and all operations would happen bulk. 800 keywords were changed at 1:37 a.m. And anyway, they didn't have a refund policy, so they kept the $7,500, and that had me frustrated, not only because of the $7,500, but because of what it did to the existing organic ranking we had. It ruined it. So anyway, I can't. It's not that I can't. I don't want to say their name because it's not nice to say it here on the platform. But yours is True AI, or actual real AI. I think the name True AI has a different meaning, right? I'm no expert when it comes to that. So what can we expect with AiHello? What can we expect it to do for us as sellers?
Yeah. So before we get into that, I would just like to point out about the problem you had with your previous company. In their defense, regardless of if it's else or if it's real AI, when system changes the bid, sometimes it's very counterintuitive to what a human thinks, right? And this is especially with forecasting models, especially with our forecasting models. People come back and say, why did it change it to $1.5? I wanted to be really on the top. and the AI changes it to lower than what you would expect because it doesn't want to be on the first spot, because the first spot might be, losing money. And your strategy is to make more money. So sometimes, it's very counterintuitive. So there could be, potentially, conflict with humans, like what they think is a different value and the system thinks it's a different value. It's exactly like playing chess.
It was a little bit different, Ganesh. It was, for example, 400 keywords, all of them changed to $1.75. All of them at the exact same price, all of them at the same time. And for example, the first change, it was done a month and a half after we started. So for 45 days, there was no changes.
I see. Gotcha.
So something was definitely off.
For sure. Yeah. We do the changes every 24 hours at the maximum. Sometimes we change every couple of hours. Sometimes we change the bidding boost every couple of minutes. It depends on what the system thinks is a seasonality. But the changes are done, almost every day. And we also give you a reason why the bid was chosen. So the system knows, based on historical, keyword like this has not performed well in the month of March. So it prints it out in English. The bid for this keyword has been changed from 1.90 to 1.75 because historically it has not performed,
nice.
Well. So we put that out. That is actually one of our redeeming feature. This saves a lot of the customer support time as well, because users can just go and see, why they changed it. And users don't come back to us and ask, why did you change it? The reason is over there, right there.
No, tell me something. With you have been on online, I guess, with AiHello since 2018. Is that right?
Roughly around 2018. 2018, we had a kind of a different module. We would do mostly of the sales, focus the sales and tell you how much to restock. And then around 2019, we kind of pivoted to ads. We already had the ads module, but the emphasis is more on ads now. Earlier, it used to be on forecasting.
And is it easy to get customers? Because I know there's like every single day, there's a number of sellers starting selling on Amazon. Because there's so many new sellers, is it easy for a company like yours to get new customers?
Well, the right answer is it depends, because we don't really target new sellers. We target sellers who are doing at least 2,000 to 5,000 a month. But one of the saddest statistics about selling online is that around 90% of the people, they lose the job and go bankrupt within the first year. But if they come to us, they think, it's our AI that has ruined them. But they don't realize how much there is a hard work behind it. Like e-commerce, you would know how hard it is. It's like grinding day and night. So what they think is, like you just put it into AI, it will handle everything, and then I just go, on a vacation. It doesn't work like that. It helps with the marketing, but there's a lot of, human element behind the scenes. The right packaging, the right, insert, the right amount of inventory in the warehouse. Not too much, not too less. So there are a lot of, other human factors. We solve one specific, part of the whole puzzle, that is advertising and marketing.
Okay, good, and that is very true. A lot of people, we hear gurus all the time try to sell their course, and they say it's automatic, it's passive income. You find a product in China and you sell it, and you become a millionaire in 14 days. I personally, I can't stand that because it's not true. There's a lot of work. I've been selling for many, many years and still have a lot of work to do. And I personally work, 10, 12 hours every single day in my business.
For sure, yes. And completely understandable. It's there's a stat that we have internally, the amount of money you need to spend and the amount of money you get. If you're earning, close to $1 million, what goes in your pocket is a few $1,000s. And everyone is paid before you. You're not paid, right? Your suppliers are paid, the shipping industry is paid, Amazon is paid, Jeff Bezos is paid, the warehouse workers are paid, your specialists are paid, the ads are paid. There's nothing that goes in your pocket. And whatever goes in your pocket, you have to invest into the inventory again. It's like a hamster wheel, you have to keep on going. You can't stop. If you stop, you lose.
Exactly. I hear so many people that, they're driving Lamborghinis, but they only sold 1.2 million last year. And I think so. After you paid everybody and you paid for your product and you paid for all of the Amazon fees and you paid for your advertising and then you pay taxes.
Yeah.
You probably have I don't know, 150 grand left. 150, 200 is going to be the maximum ever if you're in a good category with very high return. And then you buy the Lamborghini. So how do we invest now in 2022 or 23? It's business suicide, taking the money out instead of growing it. So
for sure, yeah. It's I mean, only a seller would know the pain, of e-commerce business.
Exactly. So Ganesh, back into the tool. There's something that for me, it's very important sometimes as a seller that I dominate the keyword. So certain keywords, I don't care if I'm profitable on those keywords. So the campaign itself, I want it to be profitable, preferably. But my intent for certain keywords, it is not to just generate more sales through ads, is to actually make sure that I own that keyword and I'm number one everywhere. So what I want to ask you is, can I tell your AI what my intentions are at a keyword level?
Yes, for sure. So what we do is on a keyword level, you could set an ACOS. You set a target ACOS at a campaign level. You could set the maximum keyword bid on a campaign level, and then you can go to a keyword, and then you can say, for this keyword, I want the maximum bid not to be $2, but to be $10. And the ACOS, I don't mind if it's $90, if it's 90% or 100% or 300%. So you could do it on a per keyword level.
Nice.
So there's a good granularity for each.
Nice. Okay. I really appreciate that, because a lot of the tools, they are meant to try to extract as much profit from a campaign possible. But that little detail for me, certain keywords, I don't care if they are, like I said, right? I want to convert and convert and convert so I can maintain my organic position. Okay. That is perfect. Thank you.
For sure. Yeah.
Now, another question. If I have multiple accounts, for example, I do have multiple of my own accounts for several brands. Then I also have my agency that I manage several accounts for other people. Now, when I go to AiHello, can I have several accounts under one login in a drop down, kind of like on Amazon? Or does every account require an account?
Okay. So the short answer is yes. And the long answer is you need to create multiple accounts. They're all tied to the same financial, card, same financial transaction. And then you can switch between the accounts inside. So it's exactly like Amazon, how you have a different, Europe account, different US account, but you can switch between them. So there's an account switcher that allows you to switch between your agency, between your personal, within the dashboard. So you don't have to leave the dashboard.
Okay. So basically, client A, I create an account and with a different email? Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And then I can switch with, okay, that's perfect.
Yeah. So you can switch within the dashboard.
And then team members. I know I can add team members into the tool. Is there a limit?
We don't have a limit on the number of accounts you can add. We don't have a limit on the number of team members you can add. One of the redeeming features of our software is that we are a very low monthly cost. Where we charge really low. And a lot of our profit, a lot of our revenues come from the success fee. So we depend on you being successful or us being successful. So what this happens is we're not trying to extract profit from you by signing up, right? So we extract profit from you the more successful you are. So that way we offer unlimited accounts, unlimited team members, unlimited Amazon accounts that you could connect, because we want you to be as successful as possible and we want you to earn as much revenue as possible. So we do everything possible to help you with that.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Every platform I've seen in the past, and it doesn't matter if it's Amazon or Facebook ads or everything, they always want a percentage of the ad spend, not of the ad revenue. And that's what you do, right? I saw an Autopilot. So you take a commission of the ad revenue. That is great for the seller. As any seller, that was something that always frustrated me, because the more I wanted to spend on ads, the more I would have to pay a third party. So basically, I would be spending more the more I spend, which when I say it out loud, it sounds weird, but No, that's fantastic. So
Yeah,
very interesting.
for sure. And
And
it's much more profitable to the seller and to us too to charge by ad revenue. It's kind of because we trust our tool so much. So one of Canada's biggest seller is one of our client. They're really one of the biggest, Amazon seller. And investing, maybe around $30, they make around $3,000 a day on a particular set of product, on a particular category of product. So with such a tiny amount, they can generate so much revenues. But if you were charging them by ad spend, then of course we'll be making almost nothing because we charge them by ad revenue. They're happy and we are happy, and the tool does a really good job. So everyone is happy. So they want to continue with us into other aspects of our business as well, which we provide, right? So we help them with 3PL, we help them with Amazon DSP, other aspects. So it's a good way to sync your to sync yourself into the client, into the client's business.
yeah, and that's actually a really good point that you just mentioned. I even spoke at an event in Alberta, Canada, where I talked exactly about that, where the bigger the brand is, the lower their ad costs are, because I deal with some brands that are, for example, have a brand that's so big, the number one keyword is the brand name. People search for that, right? It's not Band-Aid, but it's almost as if it was Band-Aid, where the number one search word is their brand name. And I have an ACOS of 2% with that brand because all the searches come from, like I said, from those searches and from those terms. And there is no way to increase the ACOS, even if I wanted to, because it's just so, the conversion is so high. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen with all of the products and all clients, right? That's it. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's a win-win situation. If the cost is so low and they're making a lot of revenue, it's good for us and it's good for them as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So when I have, let's say, I have hundreds of campaigns running, and then inside each campaign, there's a dozen of ads. And then inside of those ads, there's 100 keywords in each. And very quickly, this turns into millions of operations for running one account that has 100 campaigns. So for anybody listening, I'm not here trying to sell the tool or whatever, but having a tool like AiHello, for example, can automate all of this, and then you go there and there are always tweaks that you want a human being to perform, correct? This is going to take
that's right.
the majority of time. And one of the things I do, I don't know if I ever spoke about this before, but one of the things I do is when I look at a tool, I look at it, what it can do for me. So the cost of the tool at this point, it doesn't matter to me. I go look at it and I see, what can it do for me? And then I see, okay, the function that it does is equivalent to having one employee or two employees. Then I see what I would have to pay those two people, and then I compare it then with the price of the tool. And of course, if the tool is only a fraction of what it would cost me to hire somebody, why not do that?
Yeah, for sure. And one of the biggest points we make is that we don't try to cut down on your human labor. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make your human people, your human employees' life easier. So you don't have to fire your PPC specialist. We're just making their life easier because they don't have to go into each campaign and modify the keyword and check at it. They just log in, see how the campaign is doing, fix any major issues, and then go home. It's easy.
That's exactly it. Because I have PPC specialists that are working for me, but I can't afford to have this specialist work on one account all day just because it's so big that it has all these ads, right? So that's why I want to have this guy that's going to manage account A and B and C with the help of these tools, which is incredible.
That's right. Yeah. So it's a perfect situation like this, where we have multiple accounts and you have a specialist. Then you can't, afford to go and check on the keywords. Actually, that's one of the key values of our company is that we call it as human first. You should have a peace of mind. You should have, time to take a break whenever you want. Specialists should not be overworked. None of our employees, overwork. Our work weeks are usually, work days are usually 4 to 6 hours a day. The rest of it is free time. because the AI does most of the hard work, and people take time off, to focus on other things.
Yeah. Clear the mind. Ganesh, tell me something. Under the settings, I see a option that says connect platform, and there's Walmart in there. I didn't test this. Does this mean it can do the same for Walmart ads, or that's something else?
Okay, interesting question. We don't do Walmart ads for now. So what we are doing is we have applied to Walmart as a solution provider in order to help with the third party, servicing and sales. So you can place your product with our recommended third party provider, and then we'll fulfill those orders directly from Walmart via the 3PL.
Okay, so you have a fulfillment function.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so then I'm assuming the same thing would apply for Shopify, WooCommerce, or anything like that.
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. All right. And now there's also, besides the autopilot, there is also an hybrid function. Can you tell me how that works?
Okay. So the hybrid is one of the biggest challenges with ads is, as ad people would know, that it just shows your product to the customers, right? You cannot make the customers click. So if I want to sell, for example, the Vespa behind you, and then I show it to customers, I go to customers and then show them the Vespa. I can't make them buy. I can just show it to the people, right? And a lot of the sellers, what they make the mistake is they do not have an emotional copy. They just say this is made of plastic. This is made of, it runs 20 kilometers per hour. Please buy it. You can't sell like that, So you have to start off with, this is a special branded European edition. It doesn't exist anymore. It is, it's a memorabilia. It's a nostalgic thing. So you have to play with the emotions, and people don't know how to create it. And this is why humans excel, right? Ads just show it to the customers. To convince them to buy, you need a human. And the hybrid functionality is that our specialists, work with certain select sellers. They modify the listing, they add the right keyword, and they help with the conversion.
So it's like copywriting?
It's a copywriting. It's also checking if the campaigns are doing good. It's also checking if the right keywords have been inserted. It's also checking if the campaigns are in the right structure. It's also making sure that the keywords and the products match. So a lot of the things that AI does not understand, it does not understand context. If you think of the Band-Aid, if you ask Amazon for the recommended keyword, it gives you the word band, right? Which band is completely something else. It's not Band-Aid. And the AI does not understand. So you have to go and then you have to check if it's the right keyword, if it's the right campaign, if it's the right structure. So those are all the human aspects that the specialists do.
Yeah, and you know what? It's pretty funny because sometimes there's a lot of humans that don't understand that either, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of people that say they can manage somebody's PPC campaigns, but the truth is the PPC campaign is going to convert better if the listing is optimized, right? So if somebody has a terrible image, for example, the click-through rate of that campaign is not going to be high. It's going to be low because people look at that thumbnail and they don't click on it. So the performance of the ads does depend on what the listing says or what the title says. That main image is so important. And AI doesn't know that, but the truth is a lot of humans don't know that either.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, it's a lot of business strategy, development. It's where we need the specialist, the human, the AI, and the business owner, all three of them to work together to do a creative work. So our essence is you shouldn't be doing the boring keyword bid optimization work. Leave it to the AI. What you should be doing is the creative work with the specialist. So you sit down with the specialist and say, okay, this is our product. How do we make sure people buy it? So those are the creative things that you should be doing actually, and it keeps you interested as well.
Absolutely. One of the things that frustrates me is looking at listings and having like the bullet points being like Wikipedia. This product or the ingredients of this product were first found in the 20 or the 16th century in medieval. I don't care for that. Like, what is it going to do for me? Right? Is it going to make me feel good and happy and jump up and down? That's what matters. Not that in the 16th century, I don't care about Wikipedia, or I do, but not when I'm buying products.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Ganesh, now tell me something. people that are listening right now, they're probably thinking like, okay, I want to try this. Do you have a free trial for them to try and say, I can try this and I like it or I don't like it? And even if they don't, I believe your prices are pretty affordable. I saw something starting at $37. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So that would be the essentials. We start at $37, but we have a 14 days free trial. There is no credit card. You don't need to enter any credit card. You just log in, you just register, connect your Amazon, set up your Autopilot, come back in 10 days and you can see how the performance is. No credit card, no obligation, no nothing, and then after 14 days, you decide if you want the tool or not.
Beautiful. And AiHello is the domain too, AiHello.com, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Why'd you pick that name? Is there a story?
It's in retrospect, I should not have put AI because we're not trying to sell anything AI. What we are saying is, it's a very controversial topic, to bring AI into it. Some people hate it, absolutely. Some people love it, absolutely. I don't want to be, so divisive. All I can say is that we handle your marketing. We do everything with advertising. We automate your advertising, right? So we are the Autopilot. A lot of time, energy, and resources went into the AI part of it. We work with Intel. We work with the Intel AI team to optimize the algorithms. We have the machines actually to help with it. So it's a lot of resources that went into it, and I thought AiHello would be a good one.
Okay, I was thinking about that because as a client, I've been dealing with a lot of AI tools, marketing, writing, and all that stuff. And I've noticed a lot of the AI companies, not Amazon PPC, I don't know that in any of them, but they've been changing names. Like, Conversion AI, for example, it changed names 3 times already. So, it went from Conversion AI to Jasper, and then from Jasper, it is to Jansen or Janet. I don't even know, but it's on its 3rd name. I was wondering why it happens, but maybe it's now they have removed the word AI from the name. I'm not sure. But
gotcha. Yeah. It's a very controversial topic, to talk about it.
Definitely. So for people to find you, AiHello.com, that's the best place?
Yes, that's the best place for sure. Yeah.
All right. Anywhere else? Where do you want to send the people to check it out or check you out?
That is the best place. There is also a chat, a real-time chat. Sometimes it's me monitoring it. Sometimes it's my, specialist. Sometimes it's the business manager. Just drop us a message. Of course, that the trial is free. So once you connect, we have more idea about what you're looking for.
Awesome. You guys, the tool is AiHello.com. It's easy, but I will have it on the show notes. So if you want to check it out, it will be there. Ganesh.
Yep.
Thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure talking to you, and I hope we stay in touch.
Thank you, Quinn. I'll talk to you soon then.
Thank you.